What's up, zombie fans? Mike back here. Another night, another set of zombies. Wow, this episode was so emotional and just sad. I mean, we're on a quick timeline with this one, so I had to look it up just to make sure I understood exactly what was going on with the ones who live here with as we're heading into episode 2 already. There's only going to be 6 episodes so far, and there's no season 2 yet slated for the ones who live. So for all we know, this could be the last final episodes we see of Andy Lincoln, along with Michonne and whatnot, Janai Guerra. Tonight's episode was I don't know, man. It just kind of really hit you in a lot of ways because we get to meet some new characters, but again, like the fatal sin of The Walking Dead, like we're meeting these interesting characters and they get killed off so fast. So with that said, let's go ahead and get into the spoilers. Hope you guys had a chance to watch tonight's episode. I mean, so far, I'm really enjoying the season, and I'll tell you why. After seeing some things like what they did with World Beyond, Fear the Walking Dead, that stuff was trash. It truly was. And I hate to say that because I love zombie type stuff, and I love what the whole Walking Dead universe has tried to do. But, let's just face it, it was almost too much and too fast, and the storylines were just crap. But I feel with these two coming back together, and tonight now seeing where Michonne and her journey and where it led her. So if we find out she was on the road and she ended up saving a couple people, which led them to this like traveling caravan, and they just keep moving along and surviving along the way. But the only trick with this caravan is they leave people behind. So either you stay with the crew and keep up and work together, or you're left behind, and that's pretty hardcore. But as we can see, in some situations, sometimes it's very necessary, especially when we find out things like there's apparently some huge seasonal kind of traveling horde that's almost 5 miles wide, and we get a chance to see it tonight, and it was quite a scene, to say the least, when Michonne fired her little makeshift rockets into the group just to kind of draw their attention. So again, the zombies are still working the same way we always knew them to work. They go by sound, and obviously they didn't really care for more just one human that's out there in the open when that huge explosion went off. But as she meets these couple of new people, including there was Bailey, there was a black gentleman, his wife, which the name, sorry, is slipping me, but again, she wasn't with us very long. But a more interesting character I thought was Nat, the little short fellow, which was just vibrant, full of life, and just, you could tell he wanted to do the right thing. He thought it was bullcrap that they were leaving people behind. And they end up leaving that traveling caravan to join up with Michonne. And good timing, too, because she was almost in trouble at some point. But they're able to kind of bypass that huge seasonal traveling horde. And they're on their way to help her find Rick, which, the writing was on the wall. We kind of saw where this was going, right? I mean, we knew some of these people were not going to make it. But the way it went down, and, I knew the CRM were some devious, bastards. But, geez, oh, criminy. I mean, when they were traveling, and it's so funny, like, you finally find something good, right? You have something you can hold on to and be like, yeah, this is something pure and good. And when that chopper was passing by them, and as soon as it just started turning a little bit, I was just like, they're lining them up. They're lining up for a run, and I'm just, I'm screaming at the TV. Well, not screaming, but I was yelling. I'm like, get out. They're lining you up, and they dropped that chlorine gas, right? And it pretty much wiped out. Now, there wasn't that many people with them, but it like burned their lungs and whatnot. They couldn't barely breathe. I mean, obviously Michonne, we can't kill her off, so obviously she didn't get affected as much, but still you could see that it had hit her really hard as well. And it ends up killing off the woman who was pregnant. It kills off her husband. They both turned on screen. Really cool, but by the way, but yeah, that was sad. That was just sad. And then I thought Nat was going to go too, but Michonne was able to help mend him back to health, and herself, of course, and then they continue their journey back on to find Rick. Although he keeps telling her during this entire time, you got to know when it's done, and it's not giving up. It's just, you have to know that I have to go back home, right? She has kids. She has Judith, little RJ, that are worried about her and whatnot. I mean, I know Judith wants her to find her dad, Rick, but I don't know. Sometimes you just have to be like, this is where we are. This is the situation. And I think Michonne was almost there. I mean, she was fighting back so hard. And that was almost a tearful scene when she was crying there by the campfire. And he was trying to console her a little bit. And she's just, because she realized, like, the writing's on the wall. It's been in front of me all this time. I wasn't able to see it, that Rick's gone and I'm not going to find him. Yet she does find him. And so, yeah, obviously those were the two firing the explosive bolts up into the sky. A bit far-fetched, yes, at that distance. I think he could, I mean, there was no kind of like guiding system. There was no crosshairs or whatever. It was just kind of aiming, just that looks about right. But anyways, that aside, that was a little far fetched. But it did take down that chopper. I have no doubt it could do that. And his backstory that he could make things burn, he could build explosives, things like that, due to being bullied all through his life, and it made sense from where he was coming from. I got it, but he turned it into something useful. And he also talked about his kind of a stepdad figure who ended up becoming a big part of his life and kind of turning his life around, really. So that was kind of an inspirational little piece to tonight's episode. But in the end, again, the spoilers, and just finishing out, Nat gets shot. He gets shot by one of the down CRM operatives that I guess Michonne and Rick weren't able to kill in time. And just like that, he's gone. And maybe for good reason, too, because as we saw, Michonne had to lie to the CRM. I mean, Rick, you could see he had to pop in action soon. He knows these people. He knows them inside and out. He knows how they work. And you could see how Michonne, again, I kind of called it last, she had so many questions, and Rick even makes a comment about, I lost that hand one of the last times I tried. Well, she caught on to that real quick. She was like, one of the last times? Meaning you weren't going to try again? Yeah, well, Michonne, you have to understand where he's coming from, and I think she's going to get a dose of that for sure. And as she was walking around, because they believed her story, I knew something wasn't going to go perfectly right, and we had that bombshell at the very, very end when we saw that mysterious figure going into someone's room. I thought it was Michonne's at first, but it ends up being Rick's, and it was freaking Jadis. And as soon as they showed her, my mouth and my eyes bounced open and my mouth dropped. I was just like, no. She knows Rick's whole story. She knows Michonne. She knows the whole thing, and she's playing with it. Well, not playing with him, but she's like, I don't want to have to put this in the report, Rick, and I want to keep this out, but this wasn't part of our arrangement. And she knows what Rick's going to try and do. She knows he's going to try to escape, and she lays it straight out. She goes, I will have all of your people killed. She knows where they are. I mean, this is a big, big problem. This is something that I did not foresee coming. I should have. I mean, I kind of forgot about Jadis a little bit. I mentioned her last episode, but I didn't for once think that Michonne was going to get captured by the CRM alongside with Rick, that they would be together in the same situation or similar situation. But except she can't look like she's a leader, right? Or they're going to toss her out there to pretty much fight and most likely get killed. So Rick's like, you got to look like you're just an average nobody. But as we can see in some of the previews for the next episode, her skills are going to they're going to show out, right? She's killing off the walkers. She's going to look super formidable. Thorne's going to start questioning her. This is going to get interesting, guys. I'm excited. This is really cool. This is a solid series. I love seeing their interaction. It was awesome to see some goodness in this episode, but there's also a bunch of sadness as well and a lot of loss. So I'd love to know what you guys thought about tonight's episode. What were the big hits? Did you like Nat's character? And he's just an interesting little fella. I don't know. He's just kind of cool. But back to what I was saying earlier, and I got sidetracked there. I said maybe it was good, unfortunately, that Nat was killed, because I don't know if he would have been able to pull off the lies and make it sound like, I mean, honestly, he was a necessary death to pretty much to cover the story, right, of him trying to take down the chopper, Michonne just happened to be out there. It's almost a far-fetched story, but they ended up buying it. So anyways, pretty cool stuff. I'm going to leave it off at there. I think that's pretty much all the big hits that happened. We're going to have to see where this goes. I mean, as they were walking around there at the end, when Rick kind of took her off to that warehouse, I'm like, be careful, you all. You know there's eyes all over this place. And there was also a cool scene I want to mention too, when Michonne kind of walked up that little catwalk area or whatever so she could oversee part of the base. They had multiple attack helicopters, transport helicopters, Humvees, you name it. They are set up. They're also evil as hell. And I love that. Did you love that? How Michonne was like, can we stop them? And for once, Rick is just being so truthful to himself and also to those around him. And he said, no. And even when I said it too, kind of while he was saying it, and I'm so glad that he said that and didn't try to overplay it like, yeah, we could take these guys down, whatever. And even when she follows it up, like, can we try? And he said, we'll never get home. So that's a good answer too. It's like, the answer's not no, but I mean, you won't get home though. And so is it worth stopping this? Man, that's such a hard question. If you knew you had the possibility to stop an evil corporation, leadership, or like that, but you know you'll never see your children who you love and adore more than anything, and your closest of friends, and it'll mean your life, would you be able to give it? That's a tough one. I'm going to have to think on that for a minute. So, with that said, I'm Mike with the Z-Man Show. I hope you guys enjoyed this small little talk over episode 2 called Gone. And we have, 4 more coming up. I think the series is slated to end around the end of March. I think March 31st is the last finale. That's the last episode. So, take care, everyone, and I will catch you guys at the next review. See you guys.